Good morning, sports fans. You're in the cheap seats on 96.3 FM, streaming live on the web, WLCNonline.com. We are broadcasting live from the Logan County Fairgrounds here at the KFC Open Pavilion for the 2014 Logan County Fair Chili Cookoff. I'm Scott Kirby along with Jake Johnston. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning.
Kind of out of the loop right now. I have not watched sports for a full week.
Well, you've missed the trade deadline and, some other things going around the baseball league. You got college football trying to get their way into there. And, other than that, you really haven't missed a whole lot, I guess.
That's good. This Chili Cookoff is sponsored by Graue Incorporated, located at 1905 North Kickapoo Street here in Lincoln. And come on out here.
Good.
Yeah, it does. The Chili Cookoff's going on right now until 10 a.m. Watch as the best home cooks battle it out for the best chili title, and hear the best in local collegiate professional sports news here on 96.3 The Cheap Seats. Well, I just didn't roll off the tongue.
It just did not fly off there too well.
Had to improvise there.
Well, it's the tent. We had that sun on us, and we went NASCAR on it.
We did. We had this tent set up in under a minute. That's going to the car and getting it.
Going to the car, grabbing it, Herculean strength over, and setting it up with no problem. It was almost effortless.
It was. And like Jake said, the smell down here, if you like chili, I don't know, how do they do that? I know the judging's at 1 o'clock.
From what I understand, you can't start cooking the meat before 8.
You can't cook your meat till 8.
That's what it sounds like. That's a big prohibidabo to start early.
So if you start your meat early, it's a no-no.
It's not going to be good.
Oh, well.
I'm telling you.
Well, judging's at 8 or at 1, so
smells good.
It does.
Man. It's going to be a rough show.
It is.
What do you got there?
Huh? Well, I was just reading this, looking at the little clip here. First place is $200. Only $20 to get in this, and second $150, and third $100. And it looks like we've got quite a few contestants in there. What do you say, about 10 to 12?
I said 10 to 15. Yeah, you're right in there. Yeah, absolutely.
So can you go through and sample this chili, or is it just?
Do you want me to try right now?
Well, it's probably not done right now.
I might get punched in the face.
They just fired it up at 8 o'clock. I'm sure it takes more than an hour to cook.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably not going to be ready till at least noon. I don't know.
Is it open to the public? Anybody know, Jim? Where you can come in and sample? Yeah.
I don't know if do they sample? Really? Yeah. All right. He says yes.
Come on out and see if you can sample.
Nothing better than a nice bowl of warm, hot chili on a warm, hot, meltery day.
Yeah, that make your eyes sweat.
Good and good for you.
That's right. Yeah. Back to sports. We do have a trivia question that we're gonna throw out here in a little bit for a pair of Knights Action water park passes.
Nice. Is that the full pass or the water park pass?
I think it's just water park.
Just water park on this.
That's still like a $30 value for each ticket, I think. So
it's a pretty good deal. This time of year, get the kids out one more hurrah at the water parks.
School's gonna be starting here in the next couple weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks
from Monday.
Man, the summer has flown by. So.
Yeah, didn't get near enough done.
Yeah. Well, you got the rest of the summer, fall, winter to do there.
Yeah. Got to pull that stuff off once kids get into school.
I can wait. College football rankings are out, Jake. Already, man.
Yeah. Any surprises there for you? I mean,
well, obviously they got Florida State ranked number 1. Just because of Winston. They think he's going to have another solid year. Followed by Alabama. That's really no shocker. Oklahoma, number 3. Oregon, number 4. Followed by Auburn, Ohio State, UCLA, Michigan State, South Carolina, and Baylor are your top 10. Just kind of looking through the rest here. You got Wisconsin, another Big Ten. They're 14. A bunch of Notre Dame fans out there. They're ranked preseason 17.
By the end of the year, Ohio State being ranked 6th, and with their schedule, how all the realm could they be playing? Right there in the top 4.
Oh yeah, they will.
However, you put them down in the SEC it probably wouldn't be too pretty, I'm guessing, for a full season.
And looking over these names, it's the same names you see year in, year out. Yeah. No big surprises. Illinois, I don't see them anywhere in the top 25, obviously.
Dude, if there was a top 25 that started at 75,
they wouldn't make that.
I don't believe they'd make that.
There's a lot of big expectations for, I don't know about this year, but next year they got one of their better recruiting classes coming in.
They got that kid from Rochester starting this year, too.
Wes Lunt. Lunt, the local kid. That could be interesting.
That could be interesting. I mean, we're tuning in.
Absolutely.
He can throw the ball.
Absolutely. Yeah, he can.
I mean, he was chucking it as a true freshman. And
kid from SHG as a receiver.
Yeah.
He'll be a freshman, but I'm sure
probably not getting a lot of playing time.
He'll see a little bit, I think, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting football season right around the corner.
You look at it, though, in the rankings, the Big Ten's well represented.
Yeah, you got Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Nebraska. They're Big Ten. We got Rutgers they'll be in the Big Ten this year, and Maryland. Is that right? No,
I wasn't thinking Maryland.
Rutgers and there was another one.
It's another school.
It's just
another school.
Yeah, it's just another. It doesn't matter. They'll all be ahead of Illinois.
Well, you'd like to think it'd be turned around here before long, but we'll see.
Yeah.
FSU, though, that is that's pretty much consensus pick. I mean, they're tough, and they got a little bit better. They got some really good recruits. A couple of them, though, sounds like they're going to play this year as well. So FSU looks like good one to jump on the bandwagon. Alabama's Alabama, so
and then
they're not going anywhere.
They got Florida State projected 14-0. That's tough to do. They'll lose one then there somewhere, you would think.
Yeah, you would think, but
because that's just tough to do. I got Alabama losing 2 games, 11-2.
Well, Alabama's in pretty tough conference there. Yeah. Oklahoma's about as good as it gets. I can see Ohio State possibly running the table.
Yeah, well, in the Big Ten, it's not too hard to do. When you got your Illinois and I don't know, Rutgers usually has a pretty solid team.
Yeah, they're solid.
But
Northwestern,
they're solid.
Minnesota.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying you got to wear a different shirt next time. I hate looking over and seeing that Cardinals jersey.
It's a good-looking jersey. Probably one of the better-looking jerseys in the game, but whatever. I mean, you can go wherever you want with that.
So that's college football for you. Phone lines are open if you want to call in and talk about something. 737-3791, a topic that you want us to hit on. I know this has come down about mid-August. Beginning of September gets pretty exciting. College football starting up. Obviously, NFL. We'll talk a little NFL later.
Baseball's ramping towards the postseason.
Baseball, everybody's starting to jockey into position and give a little better idea of where teams are going to end up and, come playoff time and all that stuff. And we'll talk a little bit about that later.
Buyers and sellers, winners and losers.
That's right. We'll go into that. Cardinals, they're a big buyer. We'll get into that a little bit later in our baseball segment, but
still NBA talk still going on too, which I'm kind of surprised about. It's odd. This year seems so much different than any others. Maybe it's because LeBron going back or something, but boy, there's a lot of buzz in Chicago right now.
There is, just because of Team USA. You got Derrick Rose playing with them.
Yeah,
looks to be getting back.
And McDermott's actually playing on their team,
on their practice
team, and they said he's turned a lot of heads playing down there too.
Yeah, well, he's a scorer, He's always going to be able to score, and it's pretty exciting if we can get Derrick Rose back. And excuse me, there's a couple of pieces that still need to be added. The Pacers suffered a tough loss yesterday.
Yeah,
Paul George breaking his leg in half.
Yeah,
ouch. They said if you're squeamish, you don't want to watch it.
Oh, they've got it on video too.
I guess somebody said they did. I guess it'd be like one of those Kevin Ware situations. I don't know if it really broke through the skin or what, but so he's probably obviously going to be done for this season, I doubt.
Yeah, probably this whole
season. That's a huge loss for them because that's their main player.
Well, that and they just lost their starting point guard. There was a triples double machine. So I mean, it's gonna be a rough year, more of a rough year than what it should have been for them. Obviously, if he was healthy, he's one of the better forwards in the game. So
right. And Kevin Love's still out there. A couple of teams trying to, jockey their
trying to get the monies.
Trying to get the money available. Yeah. I know Cleveland's in the running. They say Chicago's, they're really wanting him.
I don't see that matchup with Chicago that well, but Cleveland could go after him, I think, with the right amount of players and whatnot. And Golden State has the right type of players they want, and I could see that combination working. So you put Curry out there with Love, that's a 1-2 punch. It's awfully tough.
Well, you'd think they would. This is going to happen here shortly, because.
Well, with Cleveland, they signed one of the bargaining chips to his rookie contract. Once you do that, you can't trade him for 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, they got a little bit of time before they have to pull the trigger, I guess, if that's the way they're going.
Well, I'm sure there's some talk behind closed doors. I think.
Well, and same thing with the Bulls, because they were talking about putting McDermott in that trade.
I'd hate to see that.
I mean, that's still 30 days off if that was going to happen. But yeah, that's the talk there.
Well, the last I heard, they were wanting to get rid of maybe Taj and Butler.
It was the way it sounded. It was McDermott, Gibson, and the kid that came over from Spain.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Well, I mean, it sounds like an awful lot. Potential scoring and one really good defensive and an offensive rebounding power forward. So,
and one thing is how Kevin Love he's a solid basketball player.
No, he's a stud, man.
He's a stud.
He's the best rebounding power forward in the game.
But who did he play for? The Minnesota Timberwolves. So he stood out.
Yeah, but he's the best rebounding power forward. I mean, to say that's a big step, man. I mean, if you got a guy that can rebound like he does, also shoot a three-pointer with a high rate of accuracy and get his shot down low, that's quite a bit of talent right there, man. So, like you said, giving up that much for him, it's kind of tough, but at the same time, he's probably I'd say probably a top 5, maybe top 10 player. He's definitely a top 10 player in the league right now. Okay.
Well, hey, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk some baseball. Trade deadline was the other day, and Cardinals made a big move. Cubs did not. But we'll go over some of that. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM, and streaming live on the web, WLCNonline.com. Gotta do the head nod. All right, there we go, Jim. Little up-to-date music there.
That's how you go on Saturday morning.
That's right.
There.
What are you guys playing on there? What is that, Jim?
Well, it's not classical.
It's a little techno there.
I feel like I need to get up and do the robot.
Good morning. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM. We are broadcasting live from the 2014 Logan County Fair Chili Cookoff, sponsored by Graue Incorporated, and we have Chris Graue sitting in with us right now. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, gentlemen. Thrilled to be here. Sorry I was late.
Hey, no problem. Well, you're right on time. That's what we do around here, late.
Do you do a mean robot, Chris?
Nah, never tried it. Let's see what happens at the beer tent later on tonight, I guess.
Exactly right. So stop in tonight.
See Mr. Graue do the robot for a nominal $5 fee.
For everybody in the tent.
Yeah. Actually, I have to be at my house because my oldest son is on his way back from New York City right now. He's been doing an internship out there, and he is en route. I think the plane just took off about 15 minutes ago.
Very nice.
An exciting summer for my oldest boy, Ethan.
Good deal. So what's going on out here this morning, Chris? And I know you're sponsoring it, but tell us a little bit about the contestants, what they have to do, and as far as, and then what the judges are looking for later.
Well, this is our first year sponsoring the Cheap Seats, and I just know there's some pretty good contestants in there. Doug Ritterbush and Dwayne Petty have won this thing about a gazillion times, I think. So they're going to be the teams to beat. I know a little bit about barbecue judging, but as far as chili judging, I'm kind of a novice. My wife's the chili judge, or the chili cook in our house, but I know Dwayne and Doug are probably the ones to beat in there right now. And I think Doug DeMay does a great job putting this thing together. Certainly become a Logan County Fair tradition. I don't know how many years they've done this, but it's probably more than 10 or 15. And they do a very good job with it. Raises some money and something neat to do, something a little different.
Yeah, and chili is different because it could range anywhere from a sweet chili to extremely hot. So I guess it all depends on your judges, I guess, what kind of palate they have and what they're looking for. So it's only a $20 entry fee, it says, and $200 for the first place winner.
Sounds like a good payoff right there.
Absolutely. That's pretty good.
For a little Saturday morning and get to do something that, a lot of people enjoy. Cooking, barbecuing, grilling, that kind of thing. And this goes right there, man.
It's something a little different. You bet.
So car business sounds like it's going pretty good for you right now.
Yeah, the Lincoln and Logan County just keeps doing it for us, and customers come out of the woodwork at the end of the month. We had a good start to the month. The middle 10 days were a little bit slow, but then the last 10 days, I was talking to our parts manager, it was just an absolute sprint for the finish. We ended up with a very respectable month, a good unit number for the month that we're really happy with, and lots of good local trades have just come in. We'll work those through the service department, work them through detail, and take them from dirty and needing repairs to being certified used cars that you can depend on, and we'll have most of those ready to go within 10 days or 2 weeks. So we're looking forward to a really good August. I guess if anybody's out there that has a kid going to school and you're going to send them off in their vehicle to school, a college kid or a high school kid, give our service department a call this week sometime. We'll do a free vehicle inspection. We'll check it over, do a visual inspection on it, safety inspection on it. We'll give you a written estimate, no charge. Whatever needs to be done to the car, we'll make recommendations for only those items that need to be done. If you decide you want to do them, great. If you decide that now's not the time, you know what you got. My daughter's leaving for school in 2 weeks, and I'm going to get her car in first of the week and get her all checked over and make sure the Malibu's ready for the road trip.
Absolutely. Last thing you want to do is send your kid off and not know if he's going to make it to his destination, and
get that phone call. Can you come?
Can you come and get?
Yeah. My dad's saying always was, periodic maintenance is not expensive, but neglect can be.
Neglect, absolutely. Well,
it's not only the expense of that breakdown; it's the inconvenience of that breakdown, because it always happens at the worst time.
Yeah, and you're in a breakdown away from home, then you're going to take it to a dealer or a mechanic that you don't know.
Sure.
If you keep it in town, everybody knows Chris Graue, and they know Graue Incorporated, and they're going to treat them right. So, yeah, that sounds like a good idea right there. Get your car in and get inspected, and it's safe.
I keep having people ask me about the recalls, and obviously the recalls have been a big deal with General Motors and all the national manufacturers. The big three and the foreign companies have all had their fair share of them. And we can't control what happens with that, but it has certainly kept our service department busy. If you think your vehicle has a recall on it, call us with the serial number. Guys in our service department will be glad to run the VIN number for you. We'll check to see if it has a recall that needs to be done. The recalls are mandatory. They have to be done on the vehicles. It's no charge to the consumer. And by the way, we can do a free vehicle inspection while it's in, give you a written estimate, see what needs to be done, and if you see something you like while you're there, we'll be glad to talk trade with you as well.
Excellent. Jake, you hear that?
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like the way to go right now.
Yeah. We've also got some really good things, some new incentives that have started this month. Chevrolet just announced 0% on most 2014 models, plus no payments for 90 days, so you can get through the rest of the summer. Into fall, maybe when football season starts, you can start making payments on your vehicle. All 2014 Silverado crew cabs with the All-Star Edition qualify for 0% to 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days, plus $4,000 combined summer drive and option package discounts. We got some good lease programs going on as well, where you can lease a 2014 Cruise LT for $159 a month. You can lease a 2014 Malibu LT for $189 a month, an Equinox LS for $199 a month, or lease a Traverse for $259 a month. Those are all low mileage leases, and the due at lease signing varies from $2,300 to $3,200 at lease signing. But leasing's kind of come back when everything happened back in 2008 and 2009. Leasing kind of stopped, but it started coming back this last couple of years, and it's a great way to go to be able to get a little bit more for your money, not have as much money tied up. You know what you got. The lease comes up at the end. You turn the thing in or you buy it. Turn it in, get yourself another car, and keep on rolling.
That truck you mentioned there, what was that again? The Chevy Silverado?
2014 Chevy Silverados have got 0% interest for 72 months, plus 90 payments, no payments for 90 days, plus $4,000 summer drive and option package discounts.
I'm done negotiating for you. Sign him.
Well, I would. The 90 days sound great, but after 90 days, that payment starts.
But yeah,
You can't just. I don't think you can give the truck.
Months.
Yeah, 72 months. That's a great idea. And if I was in the position to buy a truck right now, I would definitely do that.
The new body style that they've got out, it's called the GMT 900. I'm driving one right over here. The old truck that they had that changed in 13 was a wonderful vehicle, but as time changes, things evolve, technology changes. The cab's bigger, it's quieter, the engine's got more horsepower. Shoot, they've got a 5.3 variable displacement V8 that's getting 23 to 24 miles a gallon on the highway.
Nice.
Wow.
Full-size truck, V8 power, 23 miles a gallon on the highway, and can still tow a trailer.
Maybe I need to trade in the Suburban.
You do.
There you go.
Well,
that Suburban's pretty much a Chevy truck with a different body on it. So, yeah, that's a nice setup as well. I've driven lots and lots of Suburbans, Tahoes, but the pickup truck's kind of my choice right now. Really like them.
All right.
So what's going on in the sports world, guys?
Well, you tell us. We're lost. I haven't watched sports for about a week. I've been doing a little remodeling at my parents' and haven't watched much TV, but football season's right around the corner. I know that, so that's pretty exciting. You a big baseball fan?
Oh, I follow a little bit, but kind of follow NASCAR mostly. But to tell you the truth, we've been so busy at the store. I haven't been in getting ready for the barbecue contest at the end of the month. I just don't have a lot of free time for paying attention to anything but selling cars and getting ready for a barbecue contest.
Barbecue contest, you said.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's plug that a little bit. We were talking a little bit before we went on air. It's really growing. I know you got your friend of mine, Shane Alley. Your backyard barbecue is really taking off. We
expect that to be the biggest growth that we'll have. Last year was the first year that we did backyard barbecue, and we had sponsor from Chicago, Royal Oak Charcoal, came on board, and they gave us a nice prize purse, plus gave us some extra money to run the backyard. That's all donated through Life Point Church, and Life Point Church hosts the backyard, but all the proceeds, any money that's made, goes to Life Point Church for them to use in their ministry. Life Point Church has been a really good integral part of our barbecue, where they're right downtown, the old Courier building. They've got a really nice multi-purpose room and a kitchen. Perfect location for us to do our KCBS judging. So they've been very good about opening their doors up. They let us use their facility all weekend long, and we figured this is a great way for us to give back. Royal Oak approached us about donating money for sponsorship, and we said, well, the church has been so good to us, let's donate the money to them, let them run the backyard. So each contestant or each entry they get in pretty much goes directly to the church, because through the generosity of Royal Oak Charcoal and Brian Bergen, they've given them the money to make the thing profitable right off the bat. They have a $500 purse for the backyard. It's two pretty easy entries. It's chicken and ribs, relatively short cook time. Those guys will start cooking about 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday the 23rd. Turn in is 2 and 2:30 for chicken and ribs. And then they'll actually have an opportunity to step up to the podium to get their awards with the professionals during the professional level award ceremony downtown.
Excellent.
We do the categories, then we do backyard, and then we announce the grand champion, reserve grand champion for our contest. So those guys are right up there with the professionals.
So what time is that usually? About around 3 o'clock or so? Or
the awards?
The awards.
5.
At 5, okay. So it takes a little while with all those entries to judge them. How does that work? Say you have 40 people in your backyard. How do you have a set amount of judges? You don't have just 5 judges judging those 40 entries, do you?
The correct ratio is it's 1 judge per team, plus for every 6 judges you have 1 table captain. So you have a guy that's running that table, but then you've got 6 judges sitting at a table, and then each entrant turns in 6 entries, so that each one of the judges isn't overwhelmed. You have to have a lot of judges to do it correctly. You can do it with less than that, But if you get down to, if you're judging 12 or 13 entries, by the time
You're
you
about
eat,
full.
by the time you eat the 8th or 9th rib, you're thinking, let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
So Kansas City Barbecue Society has a really good set of rules and regulations to make this thing work correctly. They've been doing this thing for a long time, since the mid 80s, and they sanction about 500 contests a year across the country. So they know what they're doing, and they're great support and been really, really good to us to make this thing run correctly. I couldn't imagine trying to do a cook-off of that magnitude without having KCBS involved with it.
And it's a great setup for it too downtown. How they wrap it around the corner and everything. I mean, it's cool for the whole weekend, I think. So
yeah, and it brings in a lot of people. I know, and there's vendors down there where you can buy the barbecue, and just walking around there is amazing.
I just noticed, I knew this guy was here, but Jay's Dixie Q from over on the other side of Decatur is here serving at the fairgrounds. He's got some really, really good barbecue. His brisket and his ribs are really good. If you're here, he's got really, really good rib tips. I've had his rib tips a couple times, and they're really, really good. But he'll be downtown with Fat Boys Barbecue. Tom Payne will be serving. Country Fryer from Williamsville. Randy Twyford from Jacksonville. And then also Jay's Dixie Q will be down there.
So
we have a lot of people ask why they can't eat or can't sample the competitors' food, and unfortunately the competitors there to compete because of the regulations with the health department. It's not just the health department issue, but it just you'd muddy the water so much if you had to have every competitor serving food. It's just better to have 4 really good quality vendors that are serving just barbecue to be able to serve to the public. So
now there's something going on Friday night too. It's called something like
anything goes.
Anything goes. That's it.
And
explain that a little bit.
That's been moved to the wine tent this year. We've done it at the fairgrounds the first 2 years, and this year we decided to do it at the wine tent because we had a lot of people downtown mention, well, we'd really like to be able to see those entries. We'd like to be able to see them as they're turned in and then be able to view them all at one time. And it just logistically, it just wasn't possible to do that at the fairgrounds. So we approached Bill Hoagland with Main Street, explained to him what we wanted to do. He's given us the customer, I can't remember the name of the area, but it's going to be the north end of the tent, the west end of the tent, where they usually have kind of open seating for the general public to come in. We're going to have 8-foot tables set up in there. The contestants will bring their entries in and set them on the tables, and then we'll have them judged by a field of judges. But the neat thing about the Anything Goes is the cooks can cook anything they want. They can cook seafood, they can cook shrimp, scallops, beef, pork, chicken, whatever they want. They can cook alligator if they want. Has to be submitted on 4 shish kebabs, no longer than 16 inches. It has to be on a no larger than 2x2 square of some kind, and they have to use a watermelon rind in their garnish to qualify. Because of Lincoln and the tie-in with Abraham Lincoln and the christening of the town with watermelons, we felt it appropriate, and it's really neat to watch the things that come in. And something else that we've noticed, a lot of these teams, they cut it to the very end, and they're carrying this 2x2 entry all the way from over by the theater or all the way over from the old Graue Motors building down in that area. And it's kind of neat to all watch them trucking along to get the thing over there without spilling it. And that's being sponsored by the Lincoln Courier. Lincoln Courier approached us and wanted to be involved this year, and the Lincoln Courier came in as a $1,000 sponsor. So we've got a nice purse, a nice sponsored purse for Anything Goes. We're going to pay all the way back to, I believe, 10th place with Anything Goes. And hopefully, last year we had 13 entries. We're hoping to have 20 or 25 entries for Anything Goes this year.
Awesome. Nice. Come out and check that out. Well, Chris, thanks for stopping in. You got a lot of things going on right now, so
we do. We got a lot of balls in the air. And
real quick, you said there might be some changes for next year. Anything you can elaborate on with that?
Yeah, that has been quite a hot topic in the news lately, and what we all sat down as a group. When I say as a group, it was pretty much everybody that ran the events downtown, Balloon Fest weekend. And there was about a dozen of us that were in on these meetings downtown. And I can't say they were secret, but it was an invitation type of thing to just explore different ways to make Balloon Fest better. And what they're doing is expanding the weekends to give Lincoln and Logan County more of an opportunity to have more people in town. And the best way to describe it is, Balloon Fest weekend, we've got the craft show, we've got the flea market, we've got the wine tent, we've got the fine art fair, we've got the barbecue, we've got Anything Goes, we've got the backyard contest. We've got about 12 or 15 different things going on. and Lincoln just gets so full, it's gotten to the point where it's almost unmanageable with the size of the crowd and all the things that we've got going on. So what the Chamber and Main Street and all of these different organizations did, myself included with the barbecue committee, we sat down and discussed some different ways to do things, and it was decided to bring different weekends and have different segments of Balloon Fest weekend happen at different times of year. So it looks like at this point right now we're going to have the barbecue contest sometime late May, early June. There will be another weekend where they'll do another thing. Balloon Fest at the airport will stay the weekend at the airport. I think it's going to be a really positive thing for Lincoln and Logan County. There's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of kind of doubting Thomases when it comes to how we're doing this. And all I can say is just give this thing a chance. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. And I'd like to be able to say, hey, if we try and it doesn't work, we'll go right back. That's one of the risks we take with the barbecue contest, that if we move away from that weekend, there's a chance we may be not able to move it back. But June's a real good time to do it. We researched it, and this was done probably over the course of, it probably took us 5 months to finally make the decision on it. We met from June, actually longer than that, probably 7 or 8 months, because we started meeting in September right after last year's event, and kind of threw the ideas out and talked, and this wasn't a decision that was just made overnight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything that any one person made the decision on. It was a group consensus decision, and we just gotta try it.
I kind of like the idea, just because I know for out-of-towners, that families of mine, they love coming to the Balloon Fest. Well, they also are starting to enjoy the barbecue cook-off, the wine tent. They're enjoying these and can't do it all. And the weekend that they come, it seems like they can't get everything in.
Yeah, you know
what?
I
kind of mentioned it to them. They're from Indiana, and they were talking, if it was broke up, we could make a few different weekends in Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you guys are kind of trying to get at. So,
well, case in point, myself and our entire committee heads up the running of the barbecue contest. Since the barbecue contest started, I've not been able to enjoy any of the other events. I haven't been out to the airport once in 4 years because I'm busy from Thursday night until Sunday afternoon running the barbecue contest. Same thing with Patrick Doolan. Patrick Doolan runs everything at the airport. I think there's been one time he's been down with April downtown for an hour to get lunch on Saturday, and then right back out to the airport to run it's just, there's so many things it just spreads things so thinly, and everything's clamped down so tight that there's just no way to be able to do it all, which I guess is good and bad. But I think the idea of what everybody's trying to do with trying to break things up, and I think another thing that's happening downtown that's going to be really, really neat is this project that David Landerman's doing with this new theater.
Oh, yeah.
We sat with him the other night and got a full-blown pitch on how the thing's going to work and what his plans are, and he's got a pretty good idea there that I think is really going to change the landscape of downtown Lincoln.
I completely agree with that as well. Yeah.
The Blue Dog and Gazzardo's and By the Bean and Beans and Such and all these other businesses downtown, it's going to be a tremendous shot in the arm for them. It's going to be really good.
I believe, actually, I think I went through the same pitch, and I believe you're right. It's investing in Lincoln for a future in Lincoln. So I mean, it's real big things going on there too.
All right, well, we got to go to commercial break here. Chris, thanks for stopping in. We'll talk to you
good.
End of the month. I know you'll be running around all crazy.
Come down and see us.
Oh, we'll be down there. We'll be right downtown. So.
One more thing. We got Mark DiCarlo, kind of a celebrity chef, entertainer, MC that's coming to MC our event. There's a lot of people that look at me funny and cock their head and say, "Who's Mark DiCarlo?" Just Google Mark DiCarlo and pull his picture up, and 90% of the people I've talked to have said, "Oh, I recognize that guy."
Yeah.
He's been on the Tonight Show. He's been on Seinfeld a couple times. He's on the Windy City, Chicago morning show up there. He actually lives in Los Angeles and is coming in for 3 days to host our contest. So we're pretty excited about that.
Absolutely. All right, that's Chris Graue. He's sponsoring the Chili Cookoff where we're at right now, and he's the head of the barbecue competition going on downtown later this month. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM, WLCN Online. Name that tune.
Yeah, that's a team favorite right there.
Is that Kiss?
Is it the Who? Wait a minute. The Doors.
No.
It's
That's
the
Kiss.
Doors.
Good morning. You're in the Chief Seats, 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com. We are at the Chili Cookoff here at the KFC Open Pavilion. So
Right
come on
there.
down here and check it out. A lot of chili being cooked right now. Right now we have Jennifer Luckhart with us. She is with the Nuthatch Hill BBQ Company. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about your company here and where people can get all your product.
We have some sauce and seasoning and rubs that we have currently the sauce at IGA for sale, and the rubs and spices we will have in probably within about a week at IGA. Any type of catering or just daily needs that you would need, you can contact us at 737-3468 and pick it up at our house, or we can deliver it to you. And we do catering of weddings, small events, large events, whatever you would need. And everything is not just smoked meats. We also have regular, your basic cooked things too. It's a misconception a lot of people have. We don't just have smoked stuff.
Okay. Now, on your sauces, your spices, your rubs, is this your own secret ingredient?
Yes.
And then how do you?
Many years of practice and trials and.
Now, how do you make this? Do you have like a warehouse, or how do you make this in bulk to package it and sell it?
We have a company in Arkansas that makes it for us, and then they deliver it to us, and then we bottle it ourselves and do all that.
So you tell them, I guess, the ingredients, how much of
give
this
them a
is,
recipe, and then they match it.
They match it. They send it to you. You bottle it, package it, and then personally deliver it to the local stores.
Yes.
Is there a website that they can go to order this? Or?
At this point, we just have a Facebook page.
Okay. So if you go on Facebook and look up Nuthatch Hill BBQ, they'll pull you up, and then they can order whatever they want on there?
Yes,
okay.
And we will deliver it to you if needed.
Okay. You also said that you guys are involved in a lot of competitions. I know we're going to have one here downtown Lincoln the end of the month. Explain, you say you go about 6 a year. You do a lot of traveling for that?
Yes. Surrounding states and within Illinois too, but we have some favorites that we've kind of narrowed it down to that we like, and it's a good time. We have a wonderful event here in Lincoln.
Oh yeah. Now I watched the Food Network a lot, and this barbecue pit masters. Different states have different types of, like, let's say ribs in particular. Like Missouri, they have like I can't explain it right now, but
Kansas City style, right, or Memphis style.
Their ribs are going to be different than what you'll see in Illinois or even Texas, Oklahoma, or something down south. So each kind of state has their own, I guess, flavoring of a rib. Can you explain that? How that comes about?
I think with the location of Illinois, we're very fortunate that people are adjusted to Kansas City style and Memphis style barbecue, to where if you would serve them a Carolina type of barbecue, unless they're from there, most people are kind of like, what is this? I like it dry or sloppy or whatever, and what is this, all this vinegar in there? But they vary throughout where you go. You go a little bit more out west and they like a lot of heat, same as in Texas, and here they like it sweet and hot within this area.
Okay. Jake, you got anything? You Facebooking over there? I know you like meat. You like to
I just
spice
like
up
on Facebook. I'm checking that out actually.
See, he's our.
I'm right there.
And we have daily specials posted on there, featured items that we have for the week. We may cook up some pulled pork or some pulled chicken, but we usually have that on hand if you ever need that for a small event or even a large one.
Really?
Nice.
Wow, I'll have to look. That's that. So you have that. Say somebody calls you like right now and say they're having a party tonight. You could hook them up?
Sure.
All right. Good deal. I might have to talk to you off air here in a minute.
We're going through it pretty good to where we keep it on hand and always have it.
Okay. Jake, you got anything else?
I'm good, man.
You're good? Okay. Well, Jennifer, thanks for coming in with us today. Once again, right now you have the sauce at IGA, right?
Yes.
I guess that'd be in their barbecue section, I'm guessing.
In the sauces, and then we have three seasonings that we have coming out. Okay. One is for chicken, one for pork, and the other is, I made it for competition for beef, but it's also kind of a allspice, any seasoning.
Use on anything.
Yep, my kids like it on French fries, vegetables, whatever, kind of a garlic onion. It's some good stuff.
Sounds good. My mouth's watering right now.
Sounds delicious.
It does.
Plus
man.
chili
You know, I
thing going on
cooked
behind us is
about a month
killing me.
ago. I smoked my first rack of ribs, and they turn out great. And it's, you know, and you want to try different spices. So I'm pretty anxious for us to come
Good.
out in IGA, and I'll
Good.
go up and grab it and, you know, see what it's like. So I'm sure it's pretty good. And local. Let's support our
exactly
local
right.
company.
Yes, and we are Illinois product certified and
Now,
trying to.
are you going to try to expand out of, you know, Lincoln and get into a bigger market, or you just want to try to keep it local?
We're starting local, but we are going to also try and get into some stores in Springfield, some little kind of smaller stores that push Illinois products.
It's
and
probably hard to get.
they give
into
you a
like
little bit more. I don't know, attention, I guess
Yeah.
I would say, you know.
So it's for like the Walmarts. It's probably hard to get in there because it's all corporate, and there's
Yes.
probably a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yes.
So try to keep it your local IGAs and little home stores.
Yes.
So, all right, we'll get out to IGA and pick up the Nuthatch Hill BBQ spice and sauce, and let us know how it is.
Now, what are you doing here today? Are you
We're doing the chili cook-off.
you're doing part,
Oh.
or you're not a judge? You're
No,
actually in
we're
it?
cooking. We don't
Oh,
judge. We cook it.
Here.
Cook it. You guys have good chili?
I
Is it
believe
hot,
so. I believe
spicy?
so. It's kind of a average, you know, so just a nice little mild one that if you bought it or had it, you know, that you could also feed it to your children. You don't want to knock your kids' socks off or
yeah,
anything.
you don't want your eyeballs sweating.
I want to make my nose run just a little bit.
Just a little bit and then
a
go
little bit,
away.
And then go away.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just enough so the kids know they had to sit there and eat that because I just made them,
that's right.
and I'm going to love it.
Put some cheese in it and they'll eat
That's
it.
exactly right.
Well, it smells good out here. It really does, and my mouth's watering.
No, I'm ready.
Yeah, well, you gotta wait till 1, and you got
Happily
a
walking
store to
in.
run.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so all right, Jennifer, thanks for stopping
Thank you
in,
very much.
and we'll probably see you downtown the end of the month. We'll stop by and
Yes,
say
sir.
hi. And I know we can't sample one of your stuff down there. But are you with the big dogs down there?
Big dogs.
You with the big dogs.
Maybe she'll have some pre-made that's specially packaged just for the cheap seats. She could drop off since we are doing a radio show down there. I mean,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
just come by after we turn our boxes in.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Jennifer Luckhart, and I'm assuming this is your husband, Bradney?
Yes.
Bradney Luckhart with Nuthatch Hill BBQ Company.
nice.
All right, how much time we got? 5 minutes? We'll
5 minutes.
We'll just keep it here. You like sports? Baseball, football?
Cardinal fan.
Oh boy, let's
girl.
talk football then.
You tried talking football. You gave up after 5 minutes.
I know. Well, you want to go over some trades the Cardinals made?
Yeah, I mean, we can. I mean, there was some actually one of the bigger trade deadlines in recent memory. Probably last 10, 15 years happened this week. So it was kind of a big deal. Some of the biggest names in the game. You got David Price going up to Detroit. I mean, how big of a deal is that with Verlander up there already?
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're
Scherzer.
they're pretty much stacked for a playoff run. Also, you look over on the other side. You keep going out west. Oakland, they loaded up even a little heavier. They picked up some Marja earlier in the month, actually in June, and then they go after
Lester.
and
And they
pick
get
him
rid
up.
of Cepedas.
Cespedes, they got rid of him, but
did I
you
say
know
it wrong?
that's a Billy Bean move though.
Cespedes, sorry.
You look at a guy that had been playing the outfield for him. Basically, it's a lefty-righty combination. Him versus righty, he's batting like something like 367 and a slugging percentage of over 900, almost 1,000. I mean, it's ridiculous slugging percentage. And then they also have now in the trade they also get another guy that can bat Gomes. Hit the left-handers at almost the exact same clip. So you put those two together, and it looks like they should have more power, more on-base percentage, and everything than what they were getting out of Cespedes.
Okay.
So, and then you go into the Cardinals, and you know it's a little different. You're a Cardinal fan. This is a little different trade for the Cardinals. It actually looked kind of like the general manager flexing his muscle on this one. They're not going to say that in the papers.
Got one muscle.
One muscle,
Okay.
and that's all he needed on this one. It looks like he traded Alan Craig and Joe Kelly, both kind of a fan favorite guy. Alan Craig was definitely a fan favorite, and he was having a rough year, but Mike Matheny was sticking with him. And Mo said basically, you're going to play my young guy, who I want to start. Matheny didn't think that was the right move, so Mo sent him packing. Kind of a power move. They got Lackey out of it. Lackey's a good pitcher. Is he that much better than Joe Kelly? I don't know. I think Joe Kelly's a pretty tough competitor, and Lackey's the same way, but Lackey is minimum wage next year for a Major League Baseball player. So at least they got a guy that has more than 1 year.
There you go.
And one other thing, they got Justin Masterson, which before the beginning of the year, they were talking about him signing for about $180 million contract. So, I mean, the Cardinals didn't do bad. I mean, if they're looking forward to moving into the playoffs,
playoffs,
then, they got a couple guys that are going to take them down the road. That's more of a proven veteran, a couple proven veterans, as opposed to, these young guys that, here lately have been kind of falling off with their arm issues.
Will you guys take Edwin Jackson back, please?
Why?
Because
are you done with him?
I'm done with him. My dad's done with him. Boy, my dad's a diehard Cub fan, and that's where I was at all week. And that day Edwin Jackson pitched. Oh boy!
And what's your thoughts on the Cardinals right now?
I think they're, going through some changes, looking pretty good, though. I don't know. As long as we keep Yachty in there, I'm good.
Well, Yachty's hurt. You guys picked up Brzezinski, too, and he's a Cub killer. He helped you take 2 out of 3.
I tell you what, he's hitting the heck out of the ball right now. I thought he was kind of washed up. Maybe he's got a little energy left in him.
Well, they say when you change teams, it gives you a little spark. So maybe that's a little spark you need until Yachty comes back. How long's he out?
I think he's still got about probably 4 more. He'll be the beginning of September, and then he'll have some rehab going on. So,
do you make it to many games down there, St. Louis?
We go to about 2 a year.
Yeah.
Or a season.
Nice. Yeah, I love going to ball games.
I'd go to every one if I could.
Yeah, now they got that Ballpark Village. You don't even have to have a ticket. You just go to Ballpark Village and hang out all day.
Really?
It's wonderful. You can just run right in that stadium and run right out.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Find parking. Doesn't smell like a urinal like
that's
some
right.
other places.
It will. Give it time. It's new. Let's get into detail.
Do we have a trivia question?
Well, we're out of time now.
And we're out.
We're out of time. Man, we didn't. We'll see.
You hit that on the nose, too, man.
We did. Next week, we're at your place.
We're at the Jake's?
We're at Jake's. So
Jake's.
We're going to have huge sale at Jake's next Saturday.
Huge.
We're going to have furniture flying out the door.
Great place.
Like flying?
Well,
you're throwing furniture.
We're going to be throwing it in people's trucks because it's going to be such a good deal.
Okay. I'll come up with a couple. I'll come up with a couple listener specials.
Couple of deals that people just cannot refuse.
Okay.
If you refuse this deal, then you're just.
I will have 3 items. 3 different items that will be listener specials.
Listener specials, and they will be sold before our show's over.
If the listeners want to come out and pick them up, it'll be. I'm not going to say before the show. Let's say before noon.
Before noon.
Yeah, because we technically don't open till 10.
Well, okay, but that deal ends at noon.
Ends at noon.
Okay. All right, that's
only 3 items too.
Only 3 items.
I'm not going to say like 3 and back them up. It's only the 3.
Then no rain checks. If you're out of it, that's it. 3 items, listener special till noon. Do
I get to pick the item?
Are you needing one of them items? Let's discuss off the radio.
Off there. All right. So hey, you better tune in next week for the big 3-item you cannot pass deal at Jake's Furnishings.
3 only.
3 only.
Okay.
When they're gone, they're gone.
We're gonna try this. We'll see how this works.
We'll see how it goes. All right. Thanks for tuning in. As always, be sure to check us out on Comcast Channel 5 in Lincoln and Mount Pulaski for all the Cheap Seats shows that we do. We'd also like to thank Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel for sponsoring our coffee and our pastries. And
I think I've got about 5 hits for you already on your Facebook page. So
wonderful.
We'll get it rolling here.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. You've been in the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM, streaming live on the web all over the world at WLCNonline.com.
Good day.